Technical difficulties today.
Right?
Jesus Christ, not like we haven't been doing this for 5 years.
I know. You're off your game today.
God. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the world. The world is fucking throwing me off. I mean, we lost Diane Keaton.
Yeah, there's just too much sadness, too much stress.
Yeah, we lost Robert Redford recently. We never mentioned that on the podcast. You know, one of the first, real conservationists on it, and someone I didn't realize it was that political until, recently, after his death, actually. But when you go back and look at his movies, A River Runs Through It, you can tell, like, oh, no, I see the point of this movie. It was about saving the environment. Almost lost Dolly Parton. Well, even though it was just kidney stones. But
right.
Her sister sends out, like, this thing, I need thoughts and prayers, and you're, like, thinking the worst, because I'm like, oh, well, she did cancel those concerts in Vegas on it, and then, you haven't really seen her in quite a few months.
Oh, wow.
And you start to think, oh, no, not Dolly. With the shit show this year's been,
we can't lose Dolly. We can't.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. You had the saddest event of this week that happened. The Nobel Peace Prize didn't go to Trump.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Can't you tell? I'm so sad.
I'm surprised we didn't bomb somebody this week.
Oh, yeah, his ego over losing.
Fuck. And
lost to a woman.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, Maria Corina Machado, who led the opposition party, which wanted to protect democracy in Venezuela against an authoritarian government. So pretty much they gave it to an anti-fascist.
Yeah, so they're definitely not going to give it to an authoritarian. Duh.
God damn it. And fucking... It's just crazy to think that you would even think you'd be considered for it when you're invading your own cities on it. You're rounding up people in the middle of the night. Did you see Chicago, where they used a helicopter and they repelled into Chicago and they were zip tying little kids and dragging them out of beds at night?
In the apartment building, yeah.
I forget, calling over 50% of their supporters, or not supporters, but their country, the enemy.
Yeah.
Directly on the White House page.
Yeah, the radical left lunatics. Yeah, JB on the podcast for the first time.
Yay!
JB sat in on the podcast, but's never actually been on mic on the podcast before.
Right.
So welcome.
Today.
Welcome. We're gonna get into why you're here in just a few minutes here. So we're just doing kind of a speed round of what happened this week on it. This one looked like a headline from the Obama era presidency and what conservatives thought was going to happen. Qatar was given part of one of our Air Force bases. Now, why? Why could that possibly be?
I don't know. Why did that look like one from the Obama era?
Because that's what they used to say, that Obama was Muslim.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going.
And he would start another 9/11 on it. So you're going to give Qatar, who's known to fund Hamas, an Air Force base. I don't think Qatar has any enemies in this area. And it just seems like it's maybe setting up like another 9/11. Because we have like the world's dumbest president, and you give him a $5 billion aircraft, you let him build a golf course in Qatar on it. Hey, and then you can have your military planes already based within the United States. It seems like a recipe for something that, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess maybe he owed them, a solid for allowing the golf course in their country. And that plane that he got from them, I guess this is his payback.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who knows?
I want to do the cognitive test that fucking Trump gets, because apparently he scored a 30 out of 30 on it. Because if Trump is a genius, like he says he is, the smartest, the healthiest, we must be really stupid. When you ever think of that, like we live like like Stranger Things, we live in the upside down world.
Or if he's scoring like genius status on his tests, then what are all the people that are actually geniuses? I mean, what are they then?
Yeah.
Like mega geniuses?
I don't know. Are they giving like the?
It's just so dumb.
Are they giving like the preschool evaluation test, and he does good on it?
Like he knows all of his colors and
Like
his numbers,
like he counts 10,
and his shapes and whatnot.
Yeah, he can spell some 4-letter words. Well,
Sometimes,
but neither can a preschooler. So, I don't know. And he got the COVID test. I don't know why they or the COVID vaccine during his checkup.
Isn't that going to make him look less manly to his followers?
You would think so. I don't know why you would release that.
Yeah, I thought he was a strong man.
I would just put in, Trump's skin is so thick we couldn't get a needle through it on it, But he doesn't take vaccines
like
anyway.
it does say minor skin damage from the sun.
Yeah, minor skin damage. Meanwhile, half of his hand is black.
Oh, his hand is scary.
God. So why we're outraged about Qatar, conservatives are equally outraged about Bad Bunny playing Super Bowl. Now,
yeah, I got. How is that even something to be outraged about?
Yeah,
I mean, what do you even care?
I think Jay-Z, really just wants to stick to conservatives because Jay-Z comes up with a performer. And you know how mad everybody was last year about Kendrick Lamar?
How did he get that job of being the one that comes up with it? I didn't know that.
The NFL chose him with partnership, and he was closely aligned with Tom Brady too, and that's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so fucking Bad Bunny's gonna play, but it's not the first time that we've had Latin artists, even though fucking Bad Bunny's American.
They didn't like the Latin artists either.
Yeah,
they didn't like Shakira. They didn't like Jennifer Lopez. Shit, if we're going in the way, way back machine, they didn't like that year that Janet Jackson had the nip slip. They didn't like that. They were all pissed off.
Well, they were probably mad for a different reason. It might be a shade thing.
Well, yeah.
Mike Johnson said that, why can't they have an all-American Super Bowl halftime show and have Lee Greenwood?
I know.
All right, Lee Greenwood's going to sing God Bless the USA 4 times.
I know. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And half the people don't even know who the fuck Lee Greenwood is.
Yeah. Who hasn't had a fucking relevant song in 40 years?
Same with Mike Johnson, though. He's always showing up with some fucking relative remark, huh?
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah, fucking.
Now we know who to call on when we need something.
To give Mike Johnson credit, to be fair, his son is too busy blocking his porn sites to give him advice on who's relevant in music.
What? You think that they could figure some combo thing where it's like, I block this and then I tell you things that are popular so you'll understand the kids of today.
Yeah, fucking.
Understand his own fucking kids.
I don't know. I mean, what are we going to have? Kid Rock? Turning Point USA is going to do their own Super Bowl halftime show, which I'm sure will be filled with irrelevant artists.
Maybe it'll be Kid Rock. What's that other guy's name? That
Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean, but no, what's the guy's name that he's been accused of child molestation
Ted Nugent?
Yes, Ted Nugent. Thank you.
That'd be one hell of a Super Bowl halftime show.
They'll have him.
Fucking.
Obviously, they're going to have Lee Greenwood. I mean, come on.
Do you remember Brett Terhune did this joke a year ago after Kendrick Lamar? And he described how it would go down with the bald eagles on stage and the explosions.
Yeah.
Oh God, fucking, what kind of world do we live in? Fucking, and then the military is staging outside blue cities. What is going on? What if Obama fucking invaded, fucking Kentucky? What the fuck?
Well, he wouldn't, but yeah, it's I don't know why Trump's not going. Why doesn't he go into the red states? Why don't you go figure out the fucking fentanyl problems in those states, huh?
Well, he's solving that. He's blowing up fishing boats in Venezuela.
He hasn't solved it here in Kingdom yet, because there's tons of people out there. You just tell they're on fentanyl. Okay.
Keaton thinks the No Kings 2 rally is going to be the We Hate America rally.
Because of the relevancy of Mike Johnson. He's the one that started saying all that. Oh, the left's having their We Hate America protests. Oh, actually, sir, it's called No Kings 2.
Yeah, because...
Part 2.
Because wasn't the United States founded on the idea of we did not want kings? Isn't that the basic principle?
We don't tea for less.
Yes.
Isn't it also founded on, like, the right to protest, too? That's in our Constitution.
First Amendment.
Yeah.
Although you're taking that away when you say you can't burn a flag, because that was covered under the First Amendment by the Supreme Court.
Here's a fun fact. Do you know what they do when they get rid of flags? When the flags get too destroyed?
I would say after you do the proper ritual where you fold them the right way, and then...
They burn them. They burn them when they get too tattered.
Well, yes, because you wouldn't want to see flags all over the,
Yeah, but when they get too tattered, they get burned.
Oh. See, we're fucking learning stuff on the fucking podcast. You knew that? I didn't know that.
So it's just stupid.
What I think's going to happen with the National Guard in these cities, they're just daring someone to attack them. They're going to push, bully, shoot priests in the head with pepper balls on it. You're going to... there was some reporter yesterday, or news producer or something like that, was hogtied, and her staff was...
Hogtied?
Yeah, just put on the ground, and they, not hogtied, but, fucking... Yeah, her arms are behind her, and they're leaning on her back and stuff like that, and they're just trying to dare. And I'm really surprised that it hasn't happened yet, that no one's pushed back and nobody's taken a shot at one of these people. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want that. I don't want this scenario at all. I'm not calling for that scenario. I'm just surprised it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Because you push people around enough. Look at there's another mass shooting in fucking Mississippi last night. There's lunatics out there nowhere. I'm probably more surprised at not someone getting bullied, that one of these far-right fucking nuts doesn't do it, but claims they do it in the name of Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would make perfect sense. And then
don't give them any ideas. Thank God they don't listen to this podcast.
Then they're not going to listen to this. Believe me, fucking...
They probably heard Bad Bunny's name and rage quit.
Yeah.
That's like some of the people on our side coming up with some conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk's whole death was like an inside job. And I'm like, wouldn't they have made damn sure that the patsy was transgender then? Yeah. I mean, that makes no sense to sit there and say that. It wouldn't have been one of their own then.
Yeah.
If they were going to do an inside job, they'd do it to make the left look bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just someone very bright. I mean, most people, it seems, if you read comments on Facebook, didn't even know that Puerto Rico is part of the United States. So, are they going to... They're going to believe whatever they're told, and they're not going to question it. Like, how come we don't really know that much more about the Charlie Kirk shooter, and we don't know anything about the Donald Trump shooter?
I know it just went away.
It just goes away.
Like we talked about earlier, like everybody forgets about shit after 2 weeks, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I think they flood the zone with all this fucking bullshit constantly, you know? But you're outraged about a performer at a Super Bowl show. Whatever, change the channel on it and then go back to it in 20 minutes. You know, it's like clockwork. You go watch the Puppy Bowl. You know, they do it every year, you know?
Or don't watch it all. If it's going to piss you off that bad, that, I mean, for fuck's sakes, I don't want you to like beat your wife or kids over it or kick your dog. So like, if it's going to cause you that much stress, then watch something else that day. I can't. I'm imagining all the things they might do. Fuck, and wait. You know, I mean, is that going to set somebody off to do a fucking mass shooting? Fuck, I hope not.
You know what'd be funny is if everybody that's, you know, on the left go into your parents' house and go into their Fox News, but change the language to Spanish on their TVs. They'd just fucking lose their minds.
They'd probably shoot their TVs. I mean, because they're not going to be... They're of an older generation, so they're not going to know how to go into the TVs, you know, the electronics, you know, that'll just fuck their world up.
God, I mean, the way to handle it, though, is with humor, especially with these protests. Like fucking, you see JB Pritzer with Jimmy Kimmel the other day, where he's got the flak jacket on. I know you said you heard it. But
I only heard it, yeah.
But it's funny, he's got the flak jacket on. And stuff like that. He's talking about, you know, all the nice things that are going on in Chicago this week.
Oh, wow.
But Portland's another breed on it. And they're doing protesting the right way.
Costumes.
The frog is iconic. I love him.
The frog.
The passing out flowers to ICE.
Yeah. And just... the dancing.
And all the people singing like they're doing
the old people singing "This Land Is Your Land."
Yeah, doing it like just like acoustic style. It's pretty awesome.
And that really, I think, changes the narrative because what does Fox have? What are they going to do? Go back to the 2020 riots, the George Floyd riots, and show footage of that and see what's happening, and which is what they're doing.
That's what they did. They kept showing like a burning car in Portland. That was from 5 years ago, and they just keep replaying that. I've caught their asses doing that with old Teamster strikes. They would do that because they want to sit there and demonize union workers. So they'd be like, "Look at these people out of control." I'm like, bitch, that is the fucking strike in that when Ralph's was on strike, Ralph's supermarkets in California, like fucking 10 years ago. Quit playing that. That is not today.
Did you see where fucking fuckface on Fox News? Who's the biggest fuckface on Fox News?
Jesse Waters.
He was interviewing supposedly someone that used to be Antifa.
Okay.
And fucking, he's got like a hat on. He's got the facial covering. But if you look at still pictures from 2 or 3 years ago when there was some other protests going on, they interviewed the same guy. So it's just like a Fox News intern who's going on and putting a mask on.
Yeah.
I saw one where they did like an overlay of the pictures and the eye shape was the same. Yeah. The eyebrow arch was the same. Like he was wearing a different mask, slightly different.
Well, I mean, that's why Fox News is really Fox Entertainment. I mean, because it's not news and it doesn't have to be news.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reagan.
They're just bullshit.
But I don't know. I think he's going to use this as an excuse, just push someone too far and then declare martial law. Then you don't have to have the elections next year.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking scary shit. You know, and I don't agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene too much,
Oh
but
God.
maybe it is.
Lately.
Maybe it is time
Oh.
for a national divorce, though.
But
Just give us the coast.
Have you heard her statements lately?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're starting to sound like AOC or Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, she's for the bill that would keep health care for Americans.
I'm like, what is going on?
I mean, that's because her kids will lose health care, to be honest. But
yeah, she only cares because of that. And she's probably been getting a shit ton of calls from constituents bitching her out.
Yeah.
You know?
And she wants the Epstein files released.
Yeah. But I mean, just the interview on CNN, her being all cordial. That's a good question, Wolf. And then answer, it's like, when do you ever fucking even treat somebody like that? You're usually like, going full throttle asshole to them.
Do you think she finally discovered Prozac or something?
I've heard rumors like she wants to run for senator.
Okay, so yeah, if you become more moderate, then...
Well, you're going to have to if you're in Georgia, because she's in, like, the loony part of Georgia. She's, like, basically in the Kingman of Georgia. Like, every state has one. Like, that's why we have Paul Gosar. Here, that's why, he would never be elected anywhere else in the state of Arizona except for the lunatic area.
Yeah, because... in order for someone like that to win, you have to be surrounded by very gullible people.
Yes, and people who think the same as he does,
Yeah. And speaking of gullible, this is why we had JB on, is you were dealing with somebody that you know pretty well that has gone full on to the QAnon type stuff.
Yeah. Nose deep into it. I hear a lot about it against my will.
How excruciating is that? And as much as social media and the internet is a great thing, it's really a horrible thing, because now each one of us is able to think that we have a voice and we should use it. I mean, and hey, we're guilty here. This is what we do. We've been putting out our thoughts and opinions for 5 years now on it. And it's just starting to get us moderately known after 5 years. I always go with these conspiracy theories like, all right, am I the crazy one? Kind of like, what if they're right and I'm wrong? So, give us one that you hear from your people you know.
Do you want to start mild or crazy?
Let's go mild and build up crazy.
The reptilians are responsible for transgender people.
Wait, that's mild?
That's mild.
All right, let's get into that.
Are they the shape-shifting lizards, or is this a different one?
I think it's the same thing.
Okay.
Something about the stem cells, adrenochrome. When the wrong stem cells are injected, you get transgender people.
Oh, so that's how that works.
I guess so. I mean, I know a lot of trans people who disagree, but apparently to QAnon, that's how it works.
Okay, so where do these reptilian people come from?
I have not looked that far into it, but they are in charge of the deep state. They're controlling our government, and they love Trump.
Can we get this person on the podcast so we can ask them directly? Inquiring minds want to know. Where do the reptilians come from? The aliens?
I know. Do they have, like, a specific planet? Do they come from Planet Q?
Or maybe they're called Anons.
More that I've heard along it is like how they can justify Trump being on the Epstein list. Like, instead of just saying, no, he's not on there. They're like, yeah, he's probably on there, but for good reason. It's because he's working with these guys.
Yeah. Oh, it's for good reason.
Yes. And he was going undercover to get the information. Okay. And, he's a leader in taking down the deep state.
Okay, is that where that thing came out? Because remember how... Oh, it was... Idiot face... Mike Johnson again that came out and made the statement, well, Trump had been working with the FBI to take down Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
I wonder if Johnson was reading QAnon that day.
But based on that, why wouldn't you want those files to come out so Trump would be a hero?
Right. Exactly. You could totally vindicate him.
Yeah. So again, fucking the arguments fucking fall apart really easily.
It's bullshit.
The worst part is it seems to attach to gullible people because they get these topics where it's like, okay, yeah, that's a little weird. Let's jump to the wildest conclusion to explain it rather than look at the surrounding things that could be a little more plausible.
Right, like...
I gotta hand it to them. These are people with very good imaginations. I mean, that come up with these crazy, kooky things.
Yeah, like, what is, like, the head person with QAnon, the person that wrote Sharknado? Because it's just the fucking craziest fucking shit.
I know, right? Yeah, that shark trying to come up the stairs to go after people.
Yeah.
Well, how would that ever happen? It wouldn't.
Pizza.
You know what? They're hilarious, though. I will give it, like, they're very entertaining. Like, conspiracy theories. It's not like I don't like listening to them. Probably a second later be like, boy, that person is fucking cuckoo.
And they're fun to listen to. Like, you know, with my friend, it started, like, just kind of banter about, you know, some of the less crazy things. And like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, it could go this way. It could go this way. And then it just progressively got a little bit more insane. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You actually believe this?
Yeah, like, you believe it. Yeah.
Like, okay.
Like, I was bantering, like, something weird's going on, but it's probably a lot less weird than what you came up with.
Okay.
They're like, I thought we were just kind of, you know, joking around here, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, like you get into some of it, like some of the 9/11 stuff, you start to go, but then it just goes.
Because I think any bombshell is a conspiracy theory at some point. But there's also, when it goes as deep as these QAnon things with no evidence to back up any of it, it's definitely on a different level.
Why isn't someone just calling them? You know what? I think the next time I hear somebody with a conspiracy theory, because like you said, like there's a lot of things that used to be conspiracy theories, and then sometimes they're proven to be true. You should just start saying to them, prove it. Prove it. Show me the facts.
Show us the evidence. Yeah.
Show us. And fuck, I'll get on board and I'll believe it then.
Yeah. So,
you know?
So what was the take on Pizzagate?
Yeah, I didn't hear much about that one.
Pizzagate. So Pizzagate's the one where there's a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. And there was a guy who actually got arrested. He flew all the way there to go take down Pizzagate. He gets there, goes in the restaurant, and is like, I'm here to free all the children. There's people eating in the restaurant at this time, and they're like, what are you talking about? So somebody goes in the back and calls 911, obviously, because the guy's armed. And they're like, the kids that you're molesting the kids here. They're in the basement. And the owner's like, sir, we don't have a basement. Like, what are you talking about? And he was just the whole time sitting there. No, I know that. Even when the cops came and they had the guy on the ground, the guy is still saying stuff. And the one cop says to the other cop, he's like, he thinks it's Pizzagate. He believes in Pizzagate. That's why he's here.
Mm-hmm. You know, I heard a lot about this when I was younger too. It was, from what I gather, it was like the pre-QAnon, but the same route. The people who believed that latched on to the QAnon stuff.
Yeah,
oh yeah, and the QAnon people believe it too.
Yeah. So
but like that existed before QAnon, as far as I know.
So Pizzagate would be where they would kidnap kids.
They blamed Hillary Clinton. Like Hillary Clinton was the one running it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Or like those reptilians, they're stealing those kids for the adrenochrome. In their underground bunkers or whatever.
Yes, and then they're drinking the blood or whatever.
Yeah, gain immortality, something like that.
Yeah, to stay young.
Oh, okay. What's another crazy one?
Oh, God, there's so many. The rabbit hole is honestly stressful to think about.
Let's see.
Pulling on.
Oh, the shape-shifting lizards.
Yeah, I think those are the same as the reptilians. I'm not certain.
Okay.
Like I said, most of what I've learned has been against my will.
Yeah, because I have a friend who believes in some of this. I haven't talked to her in a while, but she believes in some of that. Like, she came to me about the whole, she's like, yeah, the shape-shifting lizards, they're like, the Queen of England is one. The Prince Charles, he was prince at the time. Prince Charles is one. The bushes are shape-shifting lizards. They're all shape-shifting lizards, and I was like, okay, well, let's take just Prince Charles out of this group. Like, I'm trying to reason with her. I'm like, let's take just Prince Charles. Prince Charles went to boarding school when he was raised. So wouldn't any of the other boys in boarding school witnessed him shape-shifting during the night then if they all like lived in a dorm? And she was just kind of like, oh, I didn't think about that, but no, but you're just not ready to believe.
Way back in the day,
Generally, how arguing with QAnon goes is you just point out any logic.
You're just not ready.
You're just blinded. You're the sheep. They're trying to fool you. That's why you can't see any of this.
You're just not ready for it.
way back in the day, Opie and Anthony had Donald Rumsfeld on because he had written a book, and they had Louis C.K. in the studio, and Louis just like, hey, Louis C.K. asked Rumsfeld, "Are you a lizard?"
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and he wouldn't not say he wasn't a lizard. And Louis C.K. is like, well, if you're not a lizard, how hard is it to say you're not a lizard?
Right. Yeah, you'd think you could just say that you're not a shape-shifting lizard. Oh, the other thing about this particular one, the shape-shifting lizard. So my friend had me watch this video. It's of David Icke or Icky. I don't know how you say his last name. Anyways, he's British. And he made this documentary thing, and it's about like the global elites, basically. And at first you're watching it, you're like, okay, yeah, things are run by the central banking system and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like sitting there listening to him, and then all of a sudden he goes into the shape-shifting lizards, and I'm like, whoa, what? Wait, what was that? I have to go back and watch that again. What was that? And then, because I couldn't believe my ears, then you hear it again, you're like, oh no, I did hear what I thought I said. Okay, I'm like, eject, now you lost me. I'm done. I can no longer, you had me at the whole, yes, the banking system and, the rich and powerful are controlling things. You had me being a believer, but then you go into these shape-shifting lizards. Whoa.
One of the most widespread ones I hear about, too, is how current things are tying into biblical end times is a big QAnon
the
thing.
rapture.
Yes, but I mean, as an ancient mythology nerd, like, I have an encyclopedic knowledge of all of this. But on one aspect, in the Christian Bible, it talks about, like, the mark of the beast on the forehead. I'm sorry, but what's the red hat? Like, they're calling out their own thing with this, and they're just like, oh yeah, but...
That's a good point.
It's like they're missing their own scriptures, texts on the matter, and they're just like, oh yeah, someone else is doing that, and
Because they don't actually read the Bible, they just use it as a prop.
No, I posted, because I've had more time to take video clips of some of our interviews and put them on TikTok to get some attention. And I posted the one where Fuglesang was on our show and we were talking about what Jesus says about immigration. Mm-hmm. And all the comments, very poorly written, are...
Oh, yeah, your was spelled wrong.
Yeah. But they were missing the entire point of it. Now, I wasn't talking the United States. We were just talking what Jesus would said about immigration. And all the comments were, and one was from J.C. Crossriser or something like that. It just made the total opposite hypocrisy the opposite of Jesus' teachings is what this guy said about immigrants on it. Now, they also call them all illegals, and as we know, to Jesus, none of us would be illegal. Right?
Well, they're even worse. They call them illegal aliens. And I'm like, why are you calling humans that? I mean, you could... What's so wrong with calling them undocumented? Why is that?
What if they're all? What if all?
It's actually shorter than illegal aliens, undocumented.
What if all these ultra conservatives are shape shifting lizards, though? Because then technically we would be aliens to them.
True. Well, I think you've solved. I think does that count as proof that we do have shape shifting lizards?
I wouldn't consider a lot of the behavior human-like.
Right?
No. Oh, God.
There's been a time or two where I'm like, shit, maybe they are right about those shape-shifting lizards.
Did your friend have any thoughts on COVID?
Yes, many, many thoughts on COVID.
Okay, what was COVID?
It is absolutely a scam by the government meant to control the population to drive us towards the end times. And when you get a vitamin C shot in the hospital, it's because you refused the COVID vaccine. And that's actually them forcing the COVID vaccine on you.
So it's not really vitamin C that they're
it's labeled as vitamin C, so they can't make the patients mad.
Okay.
But then these patients are experiencing a lot of side effects, and it might just be the fact that they were sick and in the hospital, and getting vitamin C shots to boost their immune system might have been why they were feeling like crap.
Okay, but
So what happens to you if you get the vaccine, if you actually get the vaccine with this person's theories?
I've heard that you're injecting things like the mark of the beast, the identifiers, there's microchips. I
have a microchip, I have the mark of the beast, because I've had like 6 of them.
Okay, so let's take a tiny piece of this to try to get some understanding. If Trump is the one that fast tracks the vaccine, and they support Trump.
He wants us to all have the microchips.
Why would
Trump does?
I guess so. I've heard so many all over the map. These guys can't agree on anything. They just attach.
They're all over the map.
But then don't they support? See, I'm getting confused here.
I know.
Well, Trump wants to take out a big chunk of people, but probably the radical left. He wants the radical left to get these vaccines, so they're wiped out. So a paradise is left over for the whatever these people think they're better for.
So I am a ticking time bomb.
So when Trump got his COVID vaccine, now is that the trigger that he just goes bye-bye?
He probably he threatened to fire the doctor for not writing that down, and he didn't get it, but he wanted to tell everyone to get it for that reason.
Okay. Oh, he's tricking us.
Could be.
Okay.
Are these people big fans of ivermectin?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Fun fact, ivermectin causes Steven Johnson syndrome.
What's that?
It's when your skin basically melts off from inappropriate chemicals in your mouth.
Gross.
Oh my God.
Ew.
I've had it too, not from ivermectin, but from another drug interaction. It's not great.
Oh. God.
It almost remember when we watched that cult documentary on Mother God?
Yeah.
And she turned fucking blue from drinking all the silver?
Yeah.
And died. It ended up killing her because you are not supposed to be drinking colloidal silver like multiple times a day. Oh
my God.
Oh.
This is
oh Jesus. Oh, sorry, we're being shown pictures right now.
Old friend of mine.
God.
Oh.
And that's from ivermectin?
Yes.
Oh my God. Why would
it's for horses?
Mm-hmm. It's a dewormer. Well, the thing is, it's legal because it's an FDA-approved drug for parasitic removal. Not for anything else. It removes parasites.
If they believe that COVID is parasitic, that's why they're taking it. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, well, COVID is a parasite. Mm-hmm. When it's a virus, and viruses
don't respond to anything like that.
Who's the one that
viruses aren't well, I guess they're parasitic because they'll like feed off.
They're not parasitic in terms of like a bug.
Right. It's not. Yeah, it's not a parasite.
Yeah.
But so they think though in their mind that a virus is parasitic because it like feeds off of you. But
I've actually heard a lot.
So they've misconstrued this.
Yes, I've actually seen a lot of things blamed on parasites, and ivermectin is supposed to cure it all. I mean, from cancer to COVID to chronic fatigue syndrome, all of that, all blamed on a parasite, and ivermectin will fix it all.
Who came up with that?
So no wonder
I'm not sure who came up with it, but I do know that Trump promoting it definitely fueled these people.
No wonder you've got people taking it as fucking prevention then. They're like, well, if I just take it now, I'll never get COVID.
Well, do you remember back in 2020, you couldn't find the stuff anywhere? Tractor Supply was also allowed.
Find a new brand for my horse.
I know. There were people who were complaining they couldn't get it they needed it for horses. And they were getting irritated at all these idiots buying all of it up because they're like, now I actually need this for my horse and I can't get any because it's out of stock.
And there was a human form of it, right? And people who, I forget what it was.
For ivermectin?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is a prescription for, like, actual parasitic impactions in your belly. It's a poison. It works by killing the parasites, and you get rid of them that way. So, like, what do you think it's going to do to you if you don't have anything to take the damage for you?
So, like, yeah, if somebody got, like, a tapeworm, then they'd probably have to take that to get rid of it.
I feel like there's more efficient things for more common ones like this.
Okay.
Is that what killed RFK's brainworm?
Oh, that's a good question. We got to get him on the podcast and find out.
Oh, we wouldn't be able to understand him.
I know. Right?
Maybe we got somebody that's coming on the show in a couple of weeks who does a great RFK impression.
So we will be able to ask RFK.
Oh, and here's this. We do the lip sync thing that he was talking about. This is for the future people. And we do RFK. Talking about what killed his brainworm.
Oh my God, that would be great.
Go viral.
Yeah.
Inside joke, people.
I've got a good idea for the lip sync thing.
Yeah. You follow us on our socials, Reality Redemption, wherever, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And you can see these videos.
I'm trying to think of more conspiracies, though. There was one on the...
Let's see here.
Oh, well, okay. What about... most famous one. What about the JFK conspiracy?
I'm not super familiar with that one.
Oh, okay. Like about who killed JFK.
Yeah, I've heard there's been arguments about that one, but I wasn't sure if that was tied into QAnon or not.
Is your friend on certain groups?
Yes.
On social media, and that's where this information is being fed?
Yes. Okay. It's mostly just completely unsourced, random AI slop kind of looking stuff saying, this explains that weird thing. And then people are just like, oh, I guess if you don't trust anything.
Yeah,
this
I did my own research by these groups that I'm involved in. You know who's gone down that rabbit hole too?
Right. Some people should not do their own research, though.
Jim Brewer has gone down that rabbit hole.
Oh dear God, yeah, I know.
I love Brewer, man. I've met him a couple times. He gave me tickets to his show in Wickenburg. Really great guy, and I don't know what happened to him.
Ivermectin?
I don't know.
Did he start taking it?
He thinks like what we say on this podcast, not like he listens to this podcast. I'm not saying that. But the subjects that we talk about and our opinions about these subjects, he thinks like we've been brainwashed by the media.
Well, he's one of those people that he's very adamant that he wants to be able to say the R word. Because he thinks that's really cool to say that word in his comedy. And he's pissed that it's not okay to say the R word.
His daughters call him out when he says something.
Yeah, like he gets really mad. Then, he did a whole segment of his special about you know, he was saying the word, you know, but he's like very pissed off that you're not allowed to say the R word anymore.
Well, you can say it.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking when I was watching his show. I'm like, dude, you're literally saying it right now. You've said it like 20 fucking times.
Yeah. Now, are you going to turn off a certain part of the audience? Yeah, sure.
Well, probably not his audience. No. I mean, but
no, but I consider myself a fan. I don't like some of his newer specials, but his older specials I really liked.
Yeah, but he wasn't all angry back then. Yeah. I personally think he's maybe angry because his career didn't really go anywhere after he kind of like, I mean, he still did stand up after SNL, and he was in a couple of movies, but that was about it. I mean, he didn't really like take off, and maybe he's taking it out on the world.
I wonder if he was mad that he didn't get invited to the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
Why didn't he? He would have been right at home. He would have be over there like saying the R word all over the place.
You know, in defense of, I don't know how I feel. We've had Alonzo Bowden on. You missed that. I don't know if you saw the clip of how he felt about it. You know, he was kind of.
I did see it.
Yeah. So he was he understood. Adam last week, he was very not on board with it. Mark Maron, not on board with it. I listened to Bill Burr's podcast, though, and Bill's explanation of it made me understand why he did it. I don't know if I would have done it or not, but I can understand the point of just wanting to go over there and bridge culture, you know what I mean, and, you know, reach out to a new audience with maybe language that they haven't heard before. I understand it. I don't know if I would have done it. I don't want to...
The biggest problem I have with any of them going over there and doing it is pretty much all of you have done stand-up specials where you are pissed about cancel culture. You're pissed about, you know, getting canceled over jokes and whatnot. So why would you go over there? And before you even got there, you were given like rules to what you can and can't joke about.
Right.
How is that not censoring and canceling?
Like if Netflix said to Dave Chappelle, you can't talk about trans people, Dave Chappelle would go, fuck you, I'm not doing it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's my thing with it. I don't care if they went or they didn't, okay? It doesn't, I mean... Because everyone has to make their own decisions. Yeah. But if you're going to sit there and you're going to make all these specials about how you're fucking tired of cancel culture and blah, 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 and comedians should be allowed to tell jokes freely and they should be allowed to joke about whatever they want. And I am a believer in that too, because I understand comedy. Why would you go over and before you got there, you have a list of things you're not allowed to joke about?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
The only one that I was really, really disappointed in, and I still love the guy, is Pete Davidson. That's the one because of 9/11.
That's just the one that was most baffling to me. Like I said, you got to make your own choices. You got to live with yourself. You got to be able to be the one to look at yourself in the mirror. And if you like what you see, fantastic. But you, Pete Davidson, doing it like your dad died. You know, I mean, you did movies and you did specials about that. Like that's...
Somebody made a joke.
Maybe his was all forgiveness?
Somebody made a joke, and it was a great joke, that they've discovered a new energy source. Because since it was announced that Pete Davidson did that, they've harnessed energy from his dad rolling over in his grave.
Oh, right.
And let's just say this about... I don't like cancel culture. I don't believe in it. I'm gonna still watch Dave Chappelle specials. I'm gonna still watch Bill Burr specials. I'm gonna still watch Pete Davidson stuff.
I'm gonna watch all of them.
Yeah, but cancel culture is such a bullshit because cancel none of these people were canceled. It's such a dumb word to call it cancel culture.
Do you want to know who was canceled?
Charlie Kirk.
Well, yeah, but
don't fire me.
Canceled. Okay, canceled in the sense where they're still alive and they didn't work again.
Bill Maher. Bill Maher technically was canceled.
Not okay, like, but
never worked again. Never worked again.
He was a football player.
Oh, Colin Kapernick.
Yeah, because, and I will say this to everyone, I'm like, if you want to argue with me on it, what team did Colin Kaepernick play for after the 49ers? What team did he ever play for?
He was blacklisted by the NFL.
Again.
The NFL got together and had meetings.
That is the one person in our time who actually did get canceled. Okay? Lenny Bruce got arrested at a show, thrown in jail. Did he still do comedy after that? You bet your fucking ass. George Carlin got canceled.
Lenny Bruce.
For a while. Came back.
Lenny Bruce, I will make the argument, is comedy would not be what comedy is today if it wasn't for Lenny Bruce.
Well, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. They stood their ground. They did that. Colin Kaepernick stood his ground and still never got another job ever again.
Yeah. Amazing how that happens.
So as far as I'm concerned, none of them really got canceled. There was like a temporary cancelment on George Carlin. George Carlin got banned from TV for a while and then got a show later on. He had a show later on.
If anything, it makes you bigger.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's not canceled. I wish we would come up with a better word for it than canceled.
You only get canceled if you're blacklisted forever, if you never get to work again.
Blacklisted would be a better term because then you'd be like,
why don't we use that word?
Is how people are trying to use it, and just simply not supporting someone you don't agree with is really not that dramatic.
And that's like Andrew Schultz. I started watching his special, and I could only get through 10 minutes of it. I'm like, this isn't funny. And I turned it off because I was just like, I am not entertained in the least. That is different than being silenced.
Right. Yes. Are you talking about, does he have a new special?
No,
or is this the one?
It was the one that you were talking about that just wasn't funny.
The one that he was, and it was sad too. I actually sat through the whole thing. It was sad because at times he was talking about like the IVF or whatnot, having to do IVF in order to be able to have a child or whatnot. But yeah, it wasn't funny. I didn't, there were maybe a couple of jokes that I laughed like, you know, kind of like a small laugh. But yeah, I do that every time I see a new special on Netflix too. I fucking click on it because I'm like, I hope it, and I'm always like, I hope it's a conservative comedian because I want to know that they're actually funny, that I could still at least laugh at them. And guess what? They're not.
And I don't get it because
they're fucking not funny.
They think hate is funny, and I guess if you think hate's funny, you could find it.
Then or like, if you like jokes from like the fucking 90s, then you're good with it. Like if you like a ton of gay jokes, if you like all that, if you do that.
And like the Kill Tony, I just found it so boring.
His show sucks. I mean, I think I've tried to watch it a few times now. I can't stand it. And I'm like, dude, I don't understand how you were so good at the Tom Brady roast. And that you're like, you're going to be chasing the dragon forever, so to speak, to equate you with a heroin user.
But there is an audience for that, though. There is. Kill Tony is the one that said, like, Puerto Rico is like a floating pile of garbage on it. And Bad Bunny spoke out about that.
He was terrible. But that wasn't, the Puerto Rican joke wasn't during the roast of Tom Brady.
No. That was during
the
Trump rally.
Trump's inauguration or something.
No,
They
no,
had
no.
him.
It was at that big Trump rally at Madison Square Garden right before the
Okay,
election.
yeah, that's where it was. Okay, but it's like he was terrible there. Even Trump supporters weren't laughing at it.
Yeah.
Who do you think was there?
Yeah.
You would think it would be them, and it was like they showed the clip, and it's like the crowd is like silent too. They didn't even find him funny.
Well, at least Joe Rogan is starting to turn, and he's starting to go. What's happening in the cities and stuff is just not right. He's being vocal about it. A little too late, man. Fucking.
Oh God!
I would argue that Joe Rogan is what got Trump elected. Just pushed him over the edge.
His fucking comments. Oh, he did get him elected, and let me tell you why. His comments on the whole healthcare thing, like the whole the healthcare subsidy things, right? And I forget the exact numbers of, the Democrats and versus the Republicans in the shutdown. And it's because they didn't want there's 2 Republicans that actually sided with the Democrats when they were voting on on all the stuff that had to do with the healthcare subsidies or whatnot. Yeah. And so he had somebody on his show recently. They played the clip of it, and he's like, wait a second. So you mean to tell me that this was basically like the Republicans were the ones that are responsible for this? And I'm like, do you actually read any fucking articles or watch any news before you go on and do your podcast? Now I am starting to see why Trump got elected, though, because your big fucking mouth was out there with no actual fucking knowledge, sitting there telling other people what they should be doing or how they should be voting by giving your endorsement. What the fuck, man?
I mean, that ties into with the QAnon thing, too, is if you're just going from one source, like if you're basing your entire opinion on what Joe Rogan tells you to do, and you vote that way, like your shirt says, "Have the day you deserve."
Yeah, you're stupid.
And the same thing with the QAnon people. If you're reading into that QAnon, like if I saw someone on QAnon, like we're like fucking, there's this shape-shifting lizards in government, I'd be like, let me try to find some other news sources that are talking about that. And if I can't find other news sources that are talking about it, I'm going to tend not to believe it.
Right. I'm not going to sit there and believe it just because my favorite political superstar said it, Yeah.
And fucking Jim Brewer fucking goes on his fucking constantly fucking, don't believe the media. Don't believe the media. You're fucking parrots if you believe the media. You're all fucking sheep if you fucking believe the media. Okay, so we should believe
your news from
we should
Jim Brewer. Like, okay, you have to still get news from somewhere to figure out, are you getting it from like BBC? Okay, because then I could get on board with that, with what you're saying. Like, I have the BBC app on my phone. I like it because it's like, it's from Britain. They don't give a fuck about our political differences here. They just tell you the news. It's boring, but and they give you the news for the whole world, not that just the United States.
And to be fair, and to wrap this all up, bring it full circle, like we try to do, is Nobel Peace Prize. Trump said that Machado called him and told him that he deserved the award and thanked him, but he actually is one. And that's what Trump said. He's the one that actually deserves it, when in fact that's not what she said, which is, Bree, do you still have that?
I can get it in just a second.
JB.
I see we all do it. I've had to say Mike Johnson on this podcast far more than what I'd like.
Hey, you could have named yourself something other than your fucking initials, like I did.
Okay, JB.
From BBC, Machado said she was very glad to speak to the U.S. president and was able to convey to him our appreciation.
Okay. That's a far different than you deserve this far more than I do.
Dementia, y'all. I'm saying dementia.
I know. Affects us all. Fucking, we're all going a little bit nuts in this world. Join us next weekend at the No Kings 2 protest on it. We'll have a time.
I'm excited.
We'll put it on our socials on it. If you're anywhere near Kingman, Arizona, a lot of people that listen are nowhere near Kingman, Arizona. So, but attend a No Kings 2 protest in your area next weekend.
Yes.
Let's show up. Let's get
It's
loud.
important.
Let's have fun. Let's dance. Let's not be violent. And let's make good trouble, right? And when people drive by and they say, fuck you, let's say, fuck Trump 10 times louder. Okay, on that.